You're listening to the Chronicles of a Gooner, the Arsenal podcast.
I'm Martin Tyler, and you're listening to Harry Symeou.
Hello and welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner live watch-along of Arsenal versus Newcastle United in the Premier League, live from the Emirates Stadium. Big hello to everybody joining us in the live chat at the moment. How you all doing? Hope you are all well. We'll go through some of your comments in the live chat in just a moment. First of all, big hello to every single one of you, and let me know what your thoughts are on the game. Let's have your predictions in the live chat box now, and we'll come to some of those between now and kick-off time in just a few minutes. Big hello to all of our members joining us in the live chat at the moment. I hope you don't mind. I've taken the liberty of making some of you moderators just because you mentioned it previously that it's something you'd be willing to do. And of course, so those of you who were with us in the last game will have seen what happened when we kind of got invaded by a bunch of bot accounts in the chat box. So we're going to do our best to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Just getting a quick message just to make sure. Is all the sound good? Can you guys hear the fake FX in the background as well? Of course, we can't get real crowd sounds because there's no crowd in the stadium. But yeah, let us know in the chat. Is it all good? Wicked, cool. Right, let's go through the starting lineup for the Gunners this evening. Let me bring it up on the screen and we'll start discussing it, making our way through it, trying to make sense of it. Here we go. So this is the Arsenal team to face Newcastle United this evening. It's Bernd Leno in goal. His name's just cut off there, but it's Cedric at right back ahead of Hector Bellerin. So Hector Bellerin is not in Arsenal's starting 11 today. He has been left out. He is on the substitutes bench, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles, interestingly, with Bellerin on the bench, doesn't even make the squad. At centre-back, Mikel Arteta's gone with Rob Holding and David Luiz, and then it's Kieran Tierney at left-back. Kieran Tierney returns. Massive news for the Arsenal. It's so important to have him back. We spoke about the kind of lack of spark, lack of creativity without him, and of course, I wrote a piece about it on 90 Min, and we put that out for you guys to read as well, where I highlighted the importance of Kieran Tierney down that left-hand side for the Gunners. Now, in the centre of midfield, he's gone with Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. Delighted to see Thomas Partey back, and I'm really excited actually about what this partnership could potentially bring, because I'm a big fan of Granit Xhaka, I'm a big fan of Thomas Partey, and I think the pair of them could strike up a really good partnership. If they can both stay fit, if they can both avoid any suspensions or any other issues, I think this could be Arsenal's midfield pairing going forward, because it gives you the defensive stability that is required in terms of their positioning. It also gives you the ability to progress the ball. Granit Xhaka, we've seen, especially over the last few weeks, has got a wonderful left foot. Thomas Partey does have the energy to get up and down and support people, and ultimately that creates the platform, doesn't it, for Emile Smith-Rowe to then go and have that creative freedom in the final third. On the left, I don't think it's going to be this way round as Flash Score have put it. It's going to be Aubameyang on the left and Saka on the right. That is what we're expecting, with Emile Smith-Rowe behind Alexander Lacazette, who continues after a really good run of form, in which I think he's scored 4 in 4, which is pretty impressive for Alexander Lacazette. Let's go through the Newcastle United team. It's Carl Darlow in goal. To back four of Kraft, Lascelles, Clark and Lewis. Jamal Lewis returns. He wasn't involved, I don't think, in the game in the FA Cup between the two sides. They've also got John Joe Shelvey back in the heart of their midfield, which will make a massive difference in terms of their creativity. I think he plays alongside Longstaff, with Almiron on the right. Joe Linton, Wilson and Carroll are all in the side. So Steve Bruce looks to have gone a little bit with a more ambitious approach this time around than he did in that FA Cup game. So yeah, it should be an interesting game. Let's see how it unfolds. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. It is so important for the channel's growth. If you could do that, we'd be very, very grateful. And if you're interested in our membership proposition, of course, you can click on the link in the description. That will take you to some more information. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Harry Land says, strong lineup. Let's go. I agree. It is a very strong lineup. I was a bit unsure about the decision to leave Gabriel out because I personally would have played him. I put my team out on the preview show. I also wrote a piece for 90 Min today on what my team would be, and I included Gabriel in there. So to not have him in there has come as a little bit of a surprise to me. But as I say, it is what it is. Let's have a quick look at the substitutes bench because we haven't done that yet. Renarson, of course, is the backup goalkeeper. Bellerin, Gabriel, El Neni, Willock, Willian, Pepe, Martinelli, and Nketiah are all on the bench. So plenty of attacking options for Mikel Arteta to pick from, even if they're not all on the top of their game at the moment. Louis Robson's not happy with Mikel Arteta. He says, I've been Arteta in for ages, but this lineup has baffled and angered me. Some of his decisions, honestly, let me know what it is that you disagree with. What is it that Mikel Arteta has done that you're not happy with? Keep me posted. What else have we got here? Louis talking about the partnership between Holding and Mari, but Mari's not available, mate. He's been ruled out for a few games. John P says he's a bit worried about Wilson and Carroll up front. Long balls coming up. Yeah, it feels very much, doesn't it, like the long balls are going to go up to Andy Carroll, and of course Callum Wilson and Miguel Almiron and Joe Linton are all going to try and get as close to him as possible at every opportunity and try and make things happen for Newcastle United that way. What else have we got here? T-Talk says Newcastle are going for it tonight, Harry. 3 strikers, yeah. Look, Steve Bruce has had so much criticism, in recent weeks about the way that Newcastle play football. And he probably feels like he has to be a little bit more expansive. He has to push a little bit more. He has to take the game to Arsenal a little bit more. He has to show a bit of kind of desire to go on and get all 3 points rather than just sitting there and hoping that you can hold out, hoping that you can get the draw, which is what Steve Bruce has done a fair amount this season. You can understand why the Newcastle fans have grown tired and frustrated by him. Now, for me, the key tonight is patience. I've already said it in the preview show. I feel like Arsenal need to be patient here. I think this could be one of those games where it's going to take us a little bit of time to break them down. We know what Newcastle are all about. We know they're a defensively solid unit normally. We know that they're going to do their utmost to make it difficult for Arsenal. I am surprised by their team. I didn't think it would be as ambitious as it is, as we've already discussed. But I still expect them without possession to get in a very good, solid shape. That's what I expect. Let's say a big hello to Stephen Zena. He says, Harry, can you attribute the Lewis selection over Gabriel to Mikel Arteta's experience versus 2 veteran strikers in Carroll and Wilson? It's a really good point, and I think a couple of you made the point in the chat, in the Discord server actually earlier today. I think it was Graham that put it in there, where he said that he'd like to see David Luiz in the side to contend with Andy Carroll, and I think that's absolutely right. David Luiz has got the experience, he's got the know-how, and perhaps it's the smart way to approach a situation like this one. Let's say a big hello to a couple of new members actually that joined us during the night. Obviously, if you join during a live show, I get to give you a shout out, which is incredible. But often members are joining us sort of out of hours when we're not broadcasting, and I haven't got a chance to give those people my thanks. So I want to say thank you to Fergus from Guns and Yellow Ribbons, to Banos, and to Cyril, a new member as well. So all 3 of those guys signed up today. Thank you all so much for your support. Big hello to Thomas in Norway. He says, hey Harry, Fabrizio Romano just confirmed what I told you about Moyes Caicedo yesterday on Transfer Talk, but what he does not know is that the agreement has been cemented. Cool, good stuff. Inside information, absolutely love it. Harry Land with a fun fact. Steve Bruce has never won 3 PL games as a manager in a row. How bad is that? Yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest, Harry, mate. I'm not surprised. He's one of that old guard that, for me, keeps getting jobs when actually perhaps it's time that people looked at someone new, someone a little bit more, progressive, expansive, someone with fresh ideas. Steve Bruce is one of those old dinosaurs. He's in the Sam Allardyce club, although Steve Bruce is a lot more likeable, I've got to say. Let's quickly run through the Arsenal lineup once more for those of you who have joined us a little bit late. It's Bernd Leno in goal. It's a back four of Cedric, Rob Holding, David Luiz and Kieran Tierney. In the middle of the park, it's Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka with Bukayo Saka and, of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang playing from either flank with Emile Smith-Rowe in the middle, just behind Alexander Lacazette, who plays as the number 9. Big hello to Cyril. He's joining us now. He says, this is a good platform. Starting to enjoy this. Thanks a lot. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your support. Really, really appreciate it. Hi, Xander, as well, who says, subscribe, like, share. Come on, you Gunners. And, of course, Miss Melina sharing the link to our membership service. Thank you so much. Also, a great point in the chat here from T Talks. He says, members, if you're not already, join the Discord server. If you hit the community tab on our YouTube channel, there is a link to a Discord server where, as T Talk says, lots of debates, Arsenal talk, news flying around, etc., etc. We're having discussions all day in there. So if you haven't done that, sign up because it is included in your package. So why would you not want to take advantage of it? Make sure you get involved. Get over there. Come over to the Discord server. Kickoff is fast approaching here at the Emirates Stadium. We're nearly there. Both teams are out on the pitch. I'm going to take a quick sip of my mint tea. I'm not trying to be healthy. I'm just sick of drinking normal tea and coffee, to be honest with you. That's what happens when you're working at home all the time. Get yourself a drink, go back, finish that one. Want to kill another 5 minutes, go and get yourself another one. Rob Bolding says, I have a feeling we're going to concede today. Don't say that, mate, please. Please don't say that. We need a clean sheet tonight, I think. I think if we do win this game, it's going to be by the odd goal. I predicted a 1-0 to the Arsenal in the preview show, and I'm going to stick with that. If you've got any questions throughout the broadcast, be sure to drop them in the live chat. Hit the like button, subscribe. You know all the drill by now. Been through it enough times. Ready to get underway here at the Emirates Stadium. John Joe Shelvey is unbeaten, incidentally, in his 3 previous Premier League appearances at the Emirates. That doesn't bode well. Almost ready to go. Steve Bruce watching on. Miss Melina says, happy belated birthday to the little one, Harry, as well. His birthday's tomorrow, but thank you so much. It was his name day the other day. That's just a Greek thing we do. But yeah, his birthday's tomorrow, so thank you so much. Predictions. Nimsy Lot says 2-1 Arsenal. Steve Stone says, am I allowed to say I'm too old to know what a Discord server is? No, you're not, and I'll fill you in on it fully at half time because we're about to kick off here. Here we go. Apologies, we've just lost one of the sound things. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. We'll fix it. Don't worry. We will fix it. Here we go. Fortunately, this is something I can fix. Apologies for that. That's what happens when you press buttons you shouldn't, Harry. There we go. We're back in business with our crowd effects. Kieran Tierney goes up for a header. Played forward by Newcastle United into Andy Carroll on the halfway line. Lays it off for Shelvey, but Arsenal have got it back with Granit Xhaka on the halfway line. Saka helps it on to Alexander Lacazette. Plays it out to the right flank where Cedric has come forward. Cedric delivers a ball into the penalty area. It's met by a Newcastle United head. And then Shelvey plays it forward to Callum Wilson. Newcastle looking menacing on the break here. Miguel Almiron on the right-hand side turns on the burners. He did well to get there because I thought Kieran Tierney would have been the favourite. Almiron chips one into the penalty area, but it ends up in the arms of Bernd Leno in the Arsenal goal. You've asked for the crowd effects, we've got them. You've asked for the clock on the screen, we've got them. So we're making progress slowly. And as I say, this is what the membership is for, so that we have the time to be able to enhance things and make them as best as possible. It's going to get better, I promise. Going to do our own customized scoreboard soon. That's in the pipeline. Here's David Luiz at left centre-back for Arsenal. Back to Bern Leno in goal. Big hello to Jay Dubio, who says, been watching your channel from the beginning. Always good content. Keep it up, fella. Thank you. And welcome. Mr. T. Marlowe says, early goal, please, Arsenal. Come on, you Gooners. Here is David Luiz. A lot of discussion in the week about David Luiz potentially taking too many touches on the ball in those kind of situations, slowing our play down. I think it's because he's waiting for the movement ahead of him. He's trying to make things happen. Here is Partey in midfield. Just plays it no more than 6-7 yards to his midfield partner, Granit Xhaka. It's back with David Luiz now. Long searching ball down the left flank towards Kieran Tierney, who had made a run, but Newcastle have it back. Here's Almiron on the right. Carries it over the halfway line. He's got his head down, Miguel Almiron. Checks back and then looks up and plays a ball infield to John Joe Shelvey. Good ball into the feet of Joe Linton. Here's Longstaff into Shelvey. Here's Kraft, that right back for Newcastle United. The ball into the direction of Callum Wilson, but it's nowhere near it. Arsenal have it back. It's with Rob Holding, just inside his own penalty area at the moment. Joe Linton going into battle with Cedric, and the Newcastle United man has ended up conceding a foul. Big hello to Kevin Jean, who's just joined us. Big hello to Steve Stone. Thank you for your kind words, mate. Here is Rob Holding. Arsenal, as I said, right at the top of the programme, will need to be patient here tonight. Emile Smith-Rowe wins a throw-in for Arsenal off of Jamal Lewis on that right flank. It's just about 15-20 yards into Newcastle United's half. Cedric's going to take it, of course, in the side in place of Hector Bellerin this evening. Here's David Luiz. Arsenal have ended up from kind of midway in Newcastle's half, back in their own one. And it's, as I said, although Newcastle are looking to spring out at every opportunity and, use the pace of of Almiron and on the flank, and of course Callum Wilson, as I said already, they will sit in a very organised shape when they don't have the ball. It's just in Steve Bruce's DNA. Tierney into Xhaka, gets it back. Tierney checks back from Miguel Almiron into the feet of Alexander Lacazette. Some of you asking if the Granit Xhaka figurine is here. It is. There you are. There he is. Granit Xhaka is in the building. Here's David Luiz. Now Cedric into Thomas Partey. Just steps inside. Here's Holding. Arsenal seeing plenty of ball at the moment. And unable to create anything of note so far. It is just 5 minutes in though. Newcastle in a very clear 4-4-2 shape. Carroll and Callum Wilson playing right up there alongside one another. There's not one playing off of the other. Here's Tierney on the left. Looks to control the ball. He's won a throw-in for his team. Off of Miguel Almiron. Tierney throws it back to David Luiz just inside his own half. This is it. This is where Arsenal need to move the ball with a little bit more zip, a little bit more pace. It's just not there at the moment. Luiz into Xhaka. Now it's with Holding. Cedric into Bukayo Saka. The flag's gone up against Bukayo Saka. Dubia says you should get an Aubameyang figurine. He might just start scoring. Yeah, I probably should. You know what? I'm going to get the whole team and lay them out in the formation on my desk, I think. Not a bad idea. Steve Stone says too static for me. Let's have some running off the ball, please. I couldn't agree with you more, mate. It is static. It is a little bit negative. No, maybe negative's the wrong word, because I'm not suggesting that Arsenal aren't trying to break Newcastle down. It just feels like it needs to have a little bit more zip, a little bit more tempo in your game is how you pull people out of position. You know, you pass the ball around slowly, you knock it 5 yards here, 5 yards there, check back, slow it all down, then you give people time to reset every time they're dragged out of position. Here's a ball in from the right from Kraft, but it's gone behind Bernd Leno's goal. Poor delivery in the end from the Newcastle United right back, having got all the way forward. Must feel like a long way back after a cross like that. Kevin Jean says that Steve Bruce has 4 attacking players in their lineup. Arsenal better be careful. Carroll, Almiron, Wilson, Joe Linton. Wonder what's Bruce's real formation. Yeah, as I said to you, it's a 4-4-2 for sure. And whenever they get the opportunity, they will try and spring forward, but you'll see them reset back into that 4-4-2 very quickly, more often than not. Game's a little bit stretched at the moment, though. You feel that will suit Arsenal. We want it to be open, and more open than Newcastle would want it anyway. Kraft puts the ball in towards the centre, but it ends up with Thomas Partey. Plays it out to the left-hand side. Aubameyang has just crossed the halfway line. Coming down the left is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's got Jamal Lascelles in front of him. Looks to create the space for the shot. Aubameyang just took a couple of extra touches. Hesitated a little bit there, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And the chance disappeared. But look at the space Aubameyang's in. He picks it up on that left-hand side. He drives forward. Jamal Lascelles reluctant to commit, and you just feel like a little bit more purpose from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he could have beaten Lascelles there. He just hesitated a little bit at the last moment. Don't forget, we'll be back online as well at about 10:15 to take you through the game as a review. We'll be doing the review show. The reason we do it so late is because for all our audio listeners, we want to have it available in their inbox first thing in the morning. So 10:15, if you're not sick of me by then, come back and join me for the review show. Miguel Almiron is down. He's holding his left shin. Looks to be in some pain. There's Miguel Almiron. Just having a look back at how that occurred. Rob Holding did get the ball, but he kind of left a little bit on Almiron there. Yeah, he does touch the ball first, Rob Holding, but he certainly catches Almiron. You can understand why he's down. Holding showing that physical side to his game. Of course, recently rewarded with a new contract, whereby he was given an extension and, we believe, a pay rise. Just referring to that chance that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, or half chance that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had there, Steve Stone says it opened up for him. It absolutely did. Newcastle have nicked it back off of Aubameyang as Martinelli looks to go past the brick wall that is Granit Xhaka. Never easy to get past Granit. Brilliant play from him. Arsenal in possession now with Cedric at right back. Just plays it infield to Thomas Partey into the feet of Bukayo Saka. Finds Xhaka now. He looks to open up his body and play it out to the left. He's found Tierney. Looks to deliver a low cross into the penalty area. It struck a Newcastle body. Some kind of half-hearted appeals for a handball maybe. Looked like it was a low cross initially, but it was always rising, wasn't it, from Kieran Tierney? Just seeing it again. Nah, the player's arms are down. I'm not ever going to get that. Not in a million years. Here's David Luiz. Just double checking with you guys. Is the all okay with the sound? This is the first one I'm doing using a different setup so that I could get the effects in. And that's why I'm a little bit conscious of the sound. I just want to make sure that it's all good and coming through nice and clear for you guys at that end. Here is Cedric. Thank you to Joe the fan. Thank you very much, mate. Hello to FX Entertainment as well. Yes, Harry, I've been looking forward to this. Hope you're well, mate. Here's Tierney. Back to David Luiz on the halfway line. Plays it to Rob Holding, who will also step into Newcastle United's half now. Cedric looks for Saka, but the pass was cut out. Newcastle look to break away. Good strength there from Callum Wilson. He's done really, really well there, Callum Wilson. Showed strength, showed pace, and managed to get away from a couple of Arsenal bodies there. Just went in between Thomas Partey and Rob Holding there, Callum Wilson. Thank you guys in the comments. Gooner says, we just have no urgency in our play at all. Yeah, it's been a problem all season, hasn't it? Sort of intermittently. It's been on and off. Oh, there we go. We jinxed the sound effects again. Hold on. I'll get that back for you in just a second. I must have touched it again, for God's sake. Arsenal looking to break away here with Emile Smith-Rowe. Here he comes now down the right. Pull back there on an Arsenal man, and we're going to get ourselves a free kick. Apologies. I've got to bloody move that away from me so I don't touch it. Jesus. Saka went down. There was an arm in the face there from Jamal Lewis. You know, surely that's got to be looked at. I'm sure it won't because it's against Arsenal, but it should be. It's a free kick for the Gunners, just to the right of Newcastle's penalty area. Opportunity to get the ball into the box and really threaten this Newcastle defence. Of course, Andy Carroll, not only a massive threat in the opposition box, but he's a really good defender of these situations, as we saw in that FA Cup tie recently. Cedric's going to whip it in right-footed. David Luiz gets ahead to it. Will come towards that far post, but then I think it's Longstaff who takes a touch and then smashes it forward. Here's Xhaka now. Lots of you commented about the arm in Bukayo Saka's face. I don't disagree. You know, I've only seen it once, but I certainly felt there was something in that. Surely they should have looked at that. Here's Cedric now. Into Emile Smith-Rowe, who gives it back to him and then makes a good run. Pulls away from his play. Now he drives at the heart of Newcastle. Lovely reverse pass for Saka. He's inside the box. Saka drives it across goal. Aubameyang with a chance from a really difficult angle. And it was almost as though Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was clearing it there. Really good work, though, again, between Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. They got into a really dangerous position. Saka pulled it across the goal. There was Aubameyang, who just completely miscued his finish. And that is a striker lacking in confidence at the moment, isn't it? Wonderful driving run from Emile Smith-Rowe into Saka. Sells the step over to Kieran Clark. Gets a shot away, actually. It comes off of Dubravka, who makes a good save with his right foot. Really good piece of goalkeeping, but he takes it into the path of Aubameyang, who's got to score. It's come crashing off the post from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and when it's not going your way, it really isn't going your way. Really unlucky, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's watching the replay back on the screen, I think. And you can see the disappointment in his face. He knows that he should have scored there, and Arsenal should be a goal to the good. Saka's going to take the resulting corner from the left-hand side after Dubravka's missed kick. In it comes. It's a poor one and cleared away at the near post by John Joe Shelvey. What an opportunity that was, though. What an opportunity that was for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to open the scoring. His last goal came against Newcastle in that FA Cup tie. But as Mr. Tesh points out in the comments, it's just no confidence. There was just no confidence at all. But as pointed out by Gooner in the chat, Emile Smith-Rowe's influence on this game is growing. We saw it there. Lovely give and go with Cedric to get away from his man. Drove at the team and then a lovely reverse pass into Bukayo Saka. The pair are just on the same wavelength, aren't they? They know what one another are going to do. They know where each other are supposed to be. David Luiz with a lovely crossfield ball to Aubameyang. Takes it down on the corner of the box. Puts it into the penalty area as an awkward bouncing ball for Kieran Clark to deal with. But the flag's gone up against Bukayo Saka. It's going to be a Newcastle free kick after the offside decision goes against the Arsenal man. David Luiz just demonstrating that passing range of his. Saka, I think, just straight offside there. And that was tight. But we are looking better. But I don't know if that's because Arsenal are looking better or it's because Newcastle have been a bit more ambitious in terms of their shape and in terms of their setup than they were in that FA Cup game. Let me know in the chat what you think. Are Arsenal better tonight? Or are Newcastle being a little bit braver and as a result leaving some of those spaces for us to expose? Let me know what you think. Jamal Lewis trying to get on the end of that throw-in, but it's just shepherded out of play by Cedric, and it's gone out for an Arsenal goal kick. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you're interested in becoming a member whereby you receive a number of perks and benefits, click the link in the description. Thank you to those who've already signed up. Truly overwhelmed by the number who've already pledged to help the podcast. Thank you so much. Saka looking for the switch of play towards Kieran Tierney, but ball falls to Granit Xhaka, who once again cleans up the mess in midfield. Gets it back from Kieran Tierney. Here's Partey. Out left to Tierney again. One-on-one with Kraft. Looks to go by him and then looks to put a cross in. He's won Arsenal a corner. Big thank you to Don Saki in the comments as well. Thank you for your kind words, mate. Emile Smith-Rowe is slowly making his way over to this left-hand side. Holdings forward. Luiz is forward. Saka's going to take it in the end. Could have sworn Emile Smith-Rowe was making his way over there. Well, he's gone short. And he's given it to Emile Smith-Rowe. Here's Tierney now. Arsenal looking to potentially change the angle. Tierney looking for the return pass to Saka, but it's cut out there by Jonjo Shelvey. He will clear his lines for Newcastle United. Thomas Partey picks it up on the halfway line, and Arsenal look to come forward again. It's into Granit Xhaka. Plays it right to Cedric. Aubameyang, who's taken up position on the right flank now, albeit temporarily. Finds Cedric, who gives it away. Newcastle give it away immediately though, and Arsenal have it back, and another chance to try and breach this Magpies defence. Here's Thomas Partey into Aubameyang, just lays it off for Cedric, who will deliver a cross in from the right hand side. It's taken a deflection and it's gone behind for an Arsenal corner. Big thank you to Gooner SG, who's just signed up and become a member of the channel. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And if you are interested in doing so, or at least having a look at the proposition, click on the link in the description. Thank you so much, mate. Arsenal's third corner of the evening. The big bodies piling forward for Arsenal. Looking to crowd Martin Dubravka out here. Look at them all bunched in the 6-yard box. Can Bukayo Saka put in the type of delivery that might break the deadlock here at the Emirates Stadium? Saka with the ball in towards the far post. David Luiz heads it back across. Xhaka will try and keep it alive. It's with Partey now. Here's Tierney. Oh, Arsenal just forced back. Newcastle do really well to defend that. Really well. Harry Land says, slowly finding the groove. Come on, the boys. Yeah, agree. We're getting there. Kai Hin, another one of our members, says Partey and Xhaka pairing looks good. Agreed, it really does. I've been saying it for months. It's the pairing that I really wanted to see. And it's the pairing that I want to see over a sustained period of time. Emile Smith-Rowe just helps it onto Saka inside the penalty area. He's twisting and turning, trying to make space. Bukayo Saka lays it off to Partey, who strikes from distance. It's well over the bar, though. Really ambitious effort, that, from Thomas Partey. not renowned for his goals from long distance. Not renowned for goals at all, Thomas Partey, for being quite frank. Greg says, I think we're looking okay. Thank you, Gooner SG, once again. Xander says, Partey is a beautiful sight. Gooner Tell says, Partey looking good. Jay Dubia says, Partey. Joe the Fan says, Arsenal setting up very nice. Just be patient. Patience is a virtue, my friend. I said it in the preview show. I've said it at the top of this one. Patience is so key for Arsenal here tonight. Here's Xhaka now. Plays it forward to Emile Smith-Rowe. Oh, looks to find Aubameyang on the left-hand side, but the pass wasn't quite right there. Newcastle back in possession, but they're under pressure from Arsenal, who are working really, really hard tonight. Here's Partey inside the centre circle, into the feet of Saka. Partey gets it back. Ghanaian plays it right to Rob Holding. Here is Cedric, just steps inside Jamal Lewis and legs it off for Emile Smith-Rowe. It's back with Rob Holding now, just inside the opposition half. Lovely ball back out right. Here's Emile Smith-Rowe into Bukayo Saka, just to the right of Newcastle's penalty area. Always looking to cut back onto that stronger left foot. Xhaka just caught there. But Thomas Partey comes across to clean up. He's missed this challenge though. And away comes Miguel Almiron. He's driving at the Arsenal penalty area, Almiron. Can he pick out a teammate? He's found Andy Carroll inside the box. It's back to Almiron on the edge of the box. He gets a shot away, Miguel Almiron. It's a good effort. It's just over Bernd Leno's goal. Really good running from Miguel Almiron after a bit of a miscue by Granit Xhaka. Thomas Partey, his teammate, came across to try and put out the fire. But Miguel Almiron skipped away from both of them in the end. He drove forward towards the penalty area. I think the Arsenal defenders did well, actually, to force him to kind of just let the attack fizzle out. Miguel Almiron just hasn't got that end product most of the time, but a really good runner and a very willing runner, which is probably why he's in the team tonight. Here's Kieran Clark at centre-back for Newcastle. Plays it long towards the direction of Andy Carroll, but Rob Holding will come away with it, and now it's with David Luiz into Granit Xhaka on the halfway line. Oh, lovely interchanging play there between Emile Smith-Rowe and Alexander Lacazette. Xhaka chipped the ball into Emile Smith-Rowe. Lacazette with a lovely dummy. And Emile Smith-Rowe looked to help it back onto Lacazette. There were appeals for a handball from Arsenal. It's not going to be given. Lacazette is still asking about it. The referee is adamant that it didn't come off the player's arm. We'll have a good look at it now. It come up off of his thigh. It has to be said. It does strike the thigh, I think, of Jamal Lascelles before it strikes his arm. So yeah, I'm okay with that. Arsenal with their fourth corner now. From the left-hand side, Bukayo Saka, the man to take it. In it comes. David Luiz goes up. Rob Holding heads just wide, but the free kick had already been given against Arsenal for a foul there in the penalty area. But Rob Holding, he gets on the end of those balls so often, Rob Holding, but he just doesn't take the chances when they come his way. I know that there was a foul there and all of that in the build-up, and it wouldn't have counted anyway. But it's a common thing with Rob Holding. He gets into those really good positions and you expect him to head home and he just heads them wide or high or over or whatever. And it's a little bit frustrating, but is what it is. The pressure's good from Arsenal at the moment. Graham agrees in the live chat. He says, excellent pressure. We need Ober and Laka to step up now. Here comes Almiron looking for Callum Wilson, but Rob Holding was alert to the situation and did really, really well. Here's Xhaka into Thomas Partey, his midfield partner. Looks for a lovely ball out towards the left-hand side for Emile Smith-Rowe. He's picked it up. He's popped up on the left wing. He's inside Newcastle's box now. Cuts it back to Aubameyang. Shoots over Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now go down as an opportunity. Wasn't as good as the one he spurned earlier, but again, it's a really good breakaway from Arsenal. Emile Smith-Rowe causing Newcastle all sorts of problems because when you've got a number 10 with that freedom who can go and take up positions like that, become the extra man, and then Aubameyang, whose actual position it is completely free to make a late run undetected and get on the end of the ball like he did there. Unfortunately, the finish was found wanting, but it's much better from Arsenal. There's plenty of creativity in this side tonight. See what you guys saying. I don't really want to take my eyes off of the match at the moment. This is the problem. Big hello to Mr. Chelebi. He says Oba should have done better. Agreed. We'll come back to your comments in a bit when there's a little bit of a break in play, because it's all going on here at the Emirates Stadium. Andy Carroll looks to take that down, but back comes Emile Smith-Rowe to pick it up for the Gunners. What a revelation he's been in recent weeks for Mikel Arteta's side. Just 20 years old, Emile Smith-Rowe. I was writing a piece today for 90 Min, which you can find on 90min.com, in which I discussed the candidates, the potential candidates to inherit the number 10 shirt now that Mesut Ozil's gone. He was certainly up there. I think, actually, he was my number 1. See, let's go back to the comments. It's just slowed down a little bit. Steve Stone says, keep plugging away, lads. Absolutely. Gooner SG says, come on, Oba. Mr. Tesh says, keep up the pressure and squeeze those magpies. Graham says, if only Oba was as good as Emile Smith-Rowe. Don't forget, guys, as well, if you haven't already, be sure to smash that like button. It is so important that you do that. It really, really does help the channel. Here's John Joe Shelvey on the edge of Arsenal's box now. Puts a ball into the middle. Headed up by David Lewis, but not far enough away. Andy Carroll's got it on the edge of the box now. Here's Longstaff out left to Jamal Lewis. Thinks about trying to go past Bukayo Saka. Instead puts a ball into the box with his weaker right foot. Aubameyang gets on the end of it. Andy Carroll still causing mayhem as he always does, but Arsenal come away with it. Granit Xhaka's gone down there under a challenge from Almiron. Gets straight back up and then receives the ball from Kieran Tierney. He looked to be in some discomfort there, Granit Xhaka. I don't think he wanted that ball. Here is Saka on the right now. He's got Cedric making the overlapping run. Cedric delivers low. Lacazette takes a touch and maybe feels a little bit of contact from the Newcastle forward. But regardless, Alexander Lacazette's touch was a heavy one, and he was never going to be able to get a shot away. But again, another good move. Cedric coming down the flank. It's a good ball from Cedric, that. Low driven with an intended target. I like to see that. Really, really good stuff from Cedric. Still 0-0. Approaching the half an hour mark here at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 0, Newcastle 0, but far more encouraging signs than what we saw in the game against Crystal Palace and in the game against Newcastle in the FA Cup, that's for sure. Here's Cedric, does brilliantly to turn away from Andy Carroll there, having taken a difficult ball out of the air there from Bern Leno. Thomas Partey in the centre circle for the Gunners. Plays it right to Cedric. Gets it out of his feet. Thinks about putting it into the box. Instead lays it off to Saka. It's back with Partey. Now Saka once more. Here's Cedric on the right flank. Puts another good ball into the box. Lacazette tussling for position there to try and get on the end of it. It was met by a Newcastle head. It's now with Jamal Lewis down by his own corner flag. He hooks it up the field, but only as far as Thomas Partey. Xhaka lays it back off to the Ghanaian. Now Emile Smith-Rowe helps it round the corner to Cedric. Basically played like a right winger in this first period. I've really enjoyed his performance so far. Here's Xhaka. Back with Cedric once more. Looks for another cross. This time it comes off the back of Jamal Lewis and is then hooked away by John Joe Shelvey. Here's Partey once more. T-Talk says Cedric showing why he deserves to start in the first 30 minutes. Agreed. DJ Jazz says the team looking crisp. We just need the first goal. Here's Lacazette inside the box though. Finds Aubameyang now. It's with Tierney on the left. Good ball in from Kieran Tierney, but with Aubameyang and Lacazette linking up on the edge of the box. Who was going to be in there to attack it? What else have we got here? Matt G says Holding is looking really confident. Good to see. Gooner SG says one goal should open the floodgates here. We're dominating the ball and keeping the play in Newcastle's half. In response to my number 10 comment, I think Kevin John highlights that the last three at Arsenal were Ozil, Van Persie and William Gallas. Yes, you've read that right, William Gallas. What a cock up that was. First of all, signing him, let alone giving him the number 10 shirt and the captaincy as well. Here's Dubravka in the Newcastle United goal. Plays it forward towards Andy Carroll. I've worked out why the sound effect is doing that, but we'll get it. Don't worry, I'll get it back for you straight away. It's a setting that I need to change. I will do it at half time. Here's Emile Smith-Rowe on the right-hand side. Winter throwing off of Joe Linton. Here is David Luiz. To Granit Xhaka, lays it off for Thomas Partey. Here's Alexander Lacazette. Mr. Tesh points out that Cardalo is in goal. Yeah, sorry, I did say that at the beginning of the show. I just get confused between the pair. Here's Lacazette inside the penalty area. No. Foul given against him. Yeah, apologies. I do know that it's Darlow. Got my Dubravka hat on. I'm a big fan, actually, of Dubravka. I think he's a really decent goalkeeper. Darlow's been good as well, though, this season. That's why he has his place in the side. Kevin John says, maybe we're keeping the number 10 shirt free for Lionel Messi. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. Darlow with a free kick for Newcastle United on the edge of his own penalty area. As you'd expect, it's played into the direction of Andy Carroll, who is more of a wrestler than a footballer these days, you've got to say. Here's Aubameyang on the left-hand side. Can he cut inside Emil Kraft here? Goes past him and then goes down. Aubameyang wants a penalty. He's not going to get one. Lacazette comes steaming into the back of Almiron there to try and win the ball back on the byline. The referee's not having any of it. This is where Aubameyang lacks. And this is not me digging Aubameyang out, because, as I said on the fans' phone-in show last night, look, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will come back again. You know, he's too good of a striker not to. He's scored goals throughout his career. He's an incredible footballer, incredible striker, I should say. But as a footballer, I think he lacks something, and that was it. You know, when he tries to take somebody on, he doesn't have that sharp, not sharpness in terms of pace, but the quick feet, the trickery necessarily, even the idea of what to do in those situations. That's what lets Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang down. You know, had that been, for example, Alexis Sanchez, he'd have that quickness of thought, quickness of feet to sort of just jump past someone. Aubameyang lacks that. And that's the real issue for me. Matt makes the joke Messi could come to play back up to Emile Smith-Rowe. Yeah, agreed. Selgiers says, I wish Andy Carroll would cut that mop off his head. Edward Denham says Newcastle are stinking the place out. Well, they picked a more ambitious side, but they haven't really threatened Arsenal's goal up until now. Hopefully they're not famous last words. There's Kieran Clark at the back for the visitors. Lays it left to Jamal Lewis. John Joe Shelvey with a nice bit of skill to avoid the challenge of Emile Smith-Rowe. It's a really good point that T Talks makes in the chat, just going back to that point, comparing Aubameyang and Alexis Sanchez. He says Alexis had the low centre of gravity that Oba lacks. Yeah, it's a really good point. I know that makes it easier to take people on and to skip past people. It really does. Makes it difficult to defend against. But Thierry Henry was a pretty tall fella, and he had it. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang just lacks that for me. He's a striker, he's a goal scorer, and when the goals don't come, it doesn't bring you an awful lot more. That's the thing with Aubameyang. Tierney just steps back inside Almiron, puts a cross in with his weaker right foot. Darlow gathers at the second attempt. Fairly decent ball into the box from Kieran Tierney, considering it was played with his weaker right foot. Here's Andy Carroll winning a header. Whips it on towards Callum Wilson, who's been largely starved of service by Newcastle United this evening. Gooner points out that we've had 73% possession at the moment, well, up until now. We've only had one shot on target. I suppose the one that Aubameyang hit the post, that doesn't count as a shot on target because it hit the post. So it's really two. Well, the way I look at it anyway. Holding plays it down the line for Saka. Wins a throw-in off of Jamal Lewis, who came back to help Kieran Clark out there. Here is Smith Rowe. It's now with Holding just inside the opposition half. Looks for Emile Smith Rowe's run in that inside right space, but Emile Smith Rowe just continued that run, and unfortunately though the pass was poor and he was never getting on the end of it. I don't think Superman was getting on the end of that, to be honest. What do you guys think of my Chronicles of a Gooner branded microphone head thing, by the way? Forgot I even got these done ages and ages ago. Managed to dig it out today. Or came across it out of pure coincidence. There you go, you can probably see it a bit better now. If you're interested in your Italian football, check out the latest episode of Simply Serie A. We do stream it on this channel as well for those of you that like it. So you can check it out on the channel. But if you could do me a massive favour, really appreciate it if you would go over to the any podcast store and subscribe to it and download it there. As Xhaka plays a ball out to the left, Tierney takes it down first time. Almiron gets back to defend it, and Almiron come away with possession for Newcastle United. Longstaff plays it back to Lascelles. Thank you for all your cool comments about my microphone foamy thing. I don't even know what they're called, to be honest. Here's Darlow in goal. Clears it. Xhaka gets underneath it, wins the initial header. Here's Aubameyang now in the inside left channel. He glanced over to the left because he wanted to find Kieran Tierney. He wasn't there. Tries a kind of Thierry Henry style opening up of the foot and trying to place it in the far corner, but it's wide of Darlow's goal. Never had the power, never had the accuracy. Never ever, from the minute it left Aubameyang's foot, looked as though it was going to trouble Carl Darlow at all. But he must have some confidence, even a little smidgen, to be trying something like that. So, yeah. As I said, he glanced to his left straight away because Aubameyang, when he steps into those infield positions, he's looking for Kieran Tierney. And Kieran Tierney's run, unfortunately, never came. Here is Bern Leno. Into Rob Holding. Now it's with David Luiz at left centre-back. He'll carry the ball forward. Tesh says now would be a good time to score. I'll take a goal at any point, mate, but I agree with you. Here's Partey. Looks for Lacazette. Is the flag going to go up? It did. He looked offside initially there, Alexander Lacazette. I think he kind of half knew it as well. Kai Hin says it's a good sign that Oba is getting more into the game. Hope he gets his goals today. Yeah, he has been more involved than he has in recent games. Bruno, one of our moderators, agrees as well. Here's Shelvey. Out to the left towards Andy Carroll. Smashes it down into the ground. Back across goal. It'll come to Almiron, who's all the way on the other side. Thinks about the delivery from the right flank. Instead gives it to Kraft. And then at a second opportunity, Almiron pumps it into the box towards Carroll. Rob Holding wins it. Thomas Partey gets a foot to it as he tries to clear the second ball. Andy Carroll not happy with the officials about something, but Newcastle United have got their corner here. Andy Carroll's obviously the intended target. Rob Holding did well to just not get distracted, not get sucked into Andy Carroll's antics, because we know what he's all about. And just to keep focused on the ball. Only Leicester have scored less goals from set pieces than Newcastle United this season. Why did I just say that? In it comes Lacazette, heads it away at the near post. So with Longstaff, he'll play it all the way back to Kraft, who will help it on to Darlow after some pressure from Thomas Partey. Of course, starting in the side for the first time since that game at Spurs. He was rushed back from injury. It was a bad decision in hindsight, but you can understand why Mikel did it at a time when we were desperate. Bring back your most high-profile, influential player, or your big summer signing, if you like. Hope that he'll inspire you. Hope that he'll get you out of what is a really poor run of form. Here is Saka now. So with Andy Carroll, just lays it off to Joe Linton. Emile Smith-Rowe nicks it with a cute little dink on the ball. Here he is again, Emile Smith-Rowe. Plays it out left to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Gets it out to him nice and early. Looks to go inside his man, Aubameyang. Puts a cross in, it's deflected, and Carl Darlow had to get across his near post there and just help it wide of that goal. You wondered what Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's intention was there, but in the end, forced a good save out of Carl Darlow, even if it was through a bit of fortune. I think it was just going to hit the outside of the post anyway, but from the goalkeeper's perspective, better safe than sorry. It's going to be an Arsenal corner, another one. Feels like we've had plenty, but we've not taken advantage of any of them yet. 44 minutes on the clock. Can Bukayo Saka deliver the kind of delivery that will put Arsenal in front here? Right on the stroke of half-time. In it comes, left-footed. Met by David Luiz. He probably should do better there, David Luiz. Got completely free, but the delivery was just a little bit behind David Luiz. If you watch it again, he kind of has to adjust his run, doesn't he? The timing of the run and the body adjustment that he has to make to try and guide it on target just make it a little bit more difficult than it probably looked at first glance. But you've got a free header, you've got to take advantage of it. It's that simple. Here's Carroll. It's half-time at the Emirates Stadium. Referee's blown up. It's 0-0 between the two sides. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang going, of course, closest to opening the scoring when his effort came crashing off the post after Bukayo Saka forced a really good save out of Carl Darlow. Arsenal have had plenty of the ball. Not too many clear-cut chances. But they'll be disappointed not to be leading at half-time. Right, we're going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to go and get a drink. 5-minute break. The stream will still run, so don't go anywhere. Stay where you are. All we're going to do is just put the overlay on and mute it for 5 minutes. I'll be back, and then we'll discuss that first half, and I'll take your comments from the chat box, and we'll have a little bit of a chat before the second period resumes. So 5-minute break. Stay exactly where you are. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you're enjoying the watch along tonight. Fingers crossed we get the goal, we get the breakthrough, and Arsenal get all 3 points. We'll be back very, very shortly. Hello and welcome back to our live watch along of Arsenal versus Newcastle United in the Premier League. It's currently 0-0 between the two sides. As we said, Arsenal had the better of the play. Arsenal had the majority of the ball, but Arsenal haven't been able up until now to break the deadlock between the two sides. Don't worry, we're bringing the crowd effects back in when the football resumes. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. I think I've missed quite a bit. All I did was go in and grab a quick drink. Steve Stone says, milk and no sugar for me, Harry. Thank you. Mate, I've got to be honest. My cups of teas are absolute shit. I get told that all the time. I get told that somehow they're not warm by the time I serve them to people, almost as though I make them and put them in the fridge for 5 minutes and then give them to them. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Massive second half coming up, as kind of pointed out by Gooner SG in the live chat. You are absolutely spot on, absolutely right. This is a massive 45 minutes of football for Arsenal because home form has been a problem for us, of course. You know, we all know that. But as I was saying, you know, we struggled against Crystal Palace. We didn't get the result we wanted from that game in the end. But if Arsenal were to end this kind of run of games with, 13 points from a possible 15, that would be incredible. It would be really, really good form for Arsenal. So, that's top of the table form, let alone a club that were sort of languishing or still are languishing in the bottom half of the table. That would be really, really good and really, really positive if we could get the 3 points tonight and make that total up. So 13 from 15, I'd be very happy with that. And if you had offered that to me at the start of that run of games, if you offered that to me before the Chelsea game on Boxing Day, I'd have bitten your arm off. So, I'm pleased with that. I'm happy with that. I'll be delighted with that. Let's get over the line, though. We need that goal. Clement says, why not play Ainsley Maitland-Niles? I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles could be off, guys. I've got to be honest. If you're talking about Ainsley Maitland-Niles not getting on the bench for tonight, then it kind of signifies that I'm not saying for sure that Maitland-Niles is off, but there have been a lot of signs of late, haven't there, that although Mikel Arteta gave this big song and dance in the summer about keeping Maitland-Niles and about how important he was to his plans, actually, it doesn't, it's not working for him. It's just not working for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So you might as well move him on, get some money in, and look to continue the rebuild of the squad. That's the only way forward for me. Let's see what else everybody is saying here. People pointing out the fixtures that we've got coming up in February. Yeah, it's going to be a really difficult and crucial month for us. Let's just quickly run you through the fixtures that we've got coming up. After this one, of course, there's the FA Cup tie with Southampton or Shrewsbury. Then there's Southampton away in the league, Manchester United at home, Wolves away, Villa away, Leeds at home, and then Benfica, Man City, Benfica again, and then Leicester away. Actually, until March, there's not an easy game. Even Burnley is not an easy game, is it? Like Burnley away, it's not traditionally an easy game. But the point I'm making here is that we need to accumulate we needed to accumulate as many points as we could from this run. If we were to end up with 13 from 15, so if we can get over the line tonight, get this 3 points in the bag, then I'll be pretty happy with that, going into that next run of games with a little bit more confidence. I'm still looking at that team, and for all the positives, like, some of the build-up play today, I still think it lacks a bit of balance, and I still think that the lack of balance comes from shoehorning Aubameyang into a position that he doesn't really work well in. And I am worried that Arsenal are trying too hard to do that, trying too hard to shoehorn him in. But look, ultimately, he's been our best player over the last couple of seasons. He just signed a massive contract. That was always going to be the case. But it's just a little bit worrying at the moment because it doesn't feel like it's quite working. You hope that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will get on the score sheet, and that will essentially open the floodgates and we can get back to winning ways and get back to seeing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scoring goals. Because we all know, as we keep saying, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on top form is an incredible centre forward, a really, really good one, and one that can win you games by himself, as we saw in the FA Cup semi-final and in the final. He was incredible in both of those games and really made a massive, massive impact. Couple of you talking about sort of how significant the second half is. Absolutely, we kind of touched on that already. Graham says, I can feel a win, Harry. I can feel it. You know what? I can too, Graham. I can too. I think we are going to get over the line tonight. I don't know where the goal's going to come from quite yet. If I had to bet, probably go with Lacazette right now. And I know he's not been great tonight individually, but he's on a good rich vein of form, Lacazette. And he's a bit of a streaky player, Lacazette. If you think about his Arsenal career, he's gone through patches where he hasn't scored goals, and then he's gone through patches where he scored really, really regularly. So Alexander Lacazette is someone that I think could have an impact on this game. Bukayo Saka, obviously, always a danger man at the moment, as is Emile Smith-Rowe. We're going to return to the game because the players are making their way back out for the second half. It's Arsenal versus Newcastle United. 0-0 at the moment, but fingers crossed Arsenal can find a way to break the deadlock here, keep it tight at the back, and then we can take all 3 points away. Here come Newcastle United. Arsenal already out on the pitch. Emerick Aubameyang wearing the captain's armband. The Bukayo, I was going to call it the Bukayo Xhaka. The Bukayo Xhaka figure, the Granit Xhaka figure, is going to be placed in front of the goal we are attacking now. Watch him pull out some brilliance. It's worked every single time. Harry Atkinson, one of our members, says, why do we just let first half of games go by without doing anything? It's like the first half isn't important. Come on, you Gunners. Second half, ready to get underway. Newcastle going to be kicking off this time. All the Arsenal players are back out. You can see what Newcastle are going to do from this restart. They're going to smash the ball out to the left flank where Andy Carroll will take up position. Surprise, surprise. There you go. Out to the left flank it goes, but it's Joe Linton who's underneath it. Xhaka takes it down on his chest, lays it off to Rob Holding at right centre-back. It's back with Granit Xhaka now. He looks up and plays the ball out left to Kieran Tierney. Scott will just cross the halfway line and lay it off to Aubameyang. He gets it back from his captain, does Kieran Tierney. Big thank you to your local MCE for your very kind super chat. Thank you so much, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Here is Saka now down the right-hand side. God, I better take that "will be right back" banner off. Attack fizzles away, breaks down. Arsenal will come again, though. Here's Cedric. Checks back inside. Thinks about delivering it with his left foot. I'm told that Cedric has actually got a very decent left foot. Not really seen much of it. Here's Partey. Clement says, come on, you Gunners. It's 4 a.m. in Borneo. Now, that is dedication, mate. That is dedication to stay out till 4 a.m. Lacazette! Oh, good save from Carl Darlow down to his right. Lacazette got a shot away. Went through a number of bodies. I didn't even think that was going to make its way all the way through to the goalkeeper. But it's a good save from Darlow and a good effort from Lacazette. Arsenal starting the half with purpose again. Tierney looks to go past Kraft. Gooner SG says, great little channel here. Wish I'd found it sooner. Thank you so much, mate. And your local MCE says, the best Arsenal channel on YouTube. Thank you, guys. You're too kind and welcome. Whether you joined us late or not, welcome. Really good effort from Lacazette. He drove it hard, low, through a number of Newcastle United bodies. It's a good save from the goalkeeper. Let's not take anything away from him. Xhaka wins another header in midfield. Lacazette will chase it. Hooked up in the air by Lascelles, who goes down. That's what winds me up. Lacazette just gives away silly free kicks. I know there wasn't a great deal in that, but in Lascelles' position, right? You're under pressure. You're running back towards your own goal. The ball is bouncing. That's exactly what you don't want as a centre-half. What are you going to do when you feel something on your back? You're going to hit the deck straight away. Carl Darlow will take the resulting free kick. It's up towards Andy Carroll. Rob holding a little bit of his shirt there. Got away with it as well, but Newcastle still continue on the attack here. Cedric dealing with Jamal Lewis in the right back position. He's put it out for a Newcastle throw-in. On their left-hand side, it's almost in line with the edge of our 6-yard box. So it's in a very advanced position for Newcastle United. Saka helps. Was trying to help defend. He ended up giving away a corner. Not ideal from Bukayo Saka, especially given the threat of Andy Carroll. And Lascelles and a couple of other Newcastle United players who are strong in the air. Arsenal have to be on guard here. Shelvey puts it into the box. It's met by Lacazette at the near post though. Thankfully. Newcastle still have it with Almiron, but they've been forced back towards the halfway line. Almiron ends up going all the way back to Kraft now inside his own half. He'll play it forward towards Kieran Clark. Cedric wins the header. Lacazette cushions it into Thomas Partey. Does well to get away from his man and plays a good ball out to the left-hand side for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Can he isolate his man here? Make room for the shot. Goes on the outside. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a stunning goal for Arsenal. Arsenal are in the lead. The deadlock has been broken. It's the captain. It's a wonderful run. It's a wonderful finish. Arsenal are in the lead. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you absolute beauty. That's our captain. That's our skipper. That's our talisman, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And you can see how much it means to his teammates because they know, they understand the significance of this guy being on form. He scored against Newcastle in the FA Cup just a few days ago, 9 days ago to be precise. A wonderful ball out from Thomas Partey to the left-hand side. He drove and drove and drove at his man. And just when you think he's going to cut in field like he has done so often in those kind of positions, he takes it on the outside, catches Kraft by surprise, creates that little bit of space, and with his left foot, drives it into the back of the net. It's Arsenal 1, Newcastle United 0. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the scorer. Come on. Such an important goal. Because you just felt the longer this went on, you know, it would become more and more and more difficult to break them down. They'd become more and more stubborn. I'm absolutely delighted that it's Aubameyang that's got the goal. And as pointed out in the chat, the comments have moved on now, but as was pointed out, it's a typical Aubameyang goal. Absolutely brilliant stuff. That is the Aubameyang from the FA Cup semi-finals, the Aubameyang from the FA Cup final. Brilliant stuff. Really, really good goal. And I'm absolutely chuffed for him. Joe Linton plays it slightly infield to Jamal Lewis. Newcastle looking to hit back immediately. Arsenal retrieve possession. It's back with Rob Holding now inside his own penalty area. He plays it out left to Aubameyang. Just looks to cushion it down to Kieran Tierney. Poor touch in the end. Harry Land did say, told you he'd score. You did. You did. We were discussing it yesterday. Here's John Joe Shelvey for Newcastle United. Plays it forward. David Luiz wins the header. Falls to Andy Carroll. Shelvey plays it out to the left-hand side where Jamal Lascelles will take it down. Just lays it off to Longstaff. Here's Shelvey again for Newcastle. Jamal Lewis has somehow, well, Newcastle have somehow earned themselves a free kick here. Certainly looks soft to me. That's nothing from Cedric. He's hardly touched him. It's really poor. Really weak. Newcastle have got a free kick now from a wide left position. Opportunity for them to get the ball in the penalty area. It's met by a Newcastle head. I think it was Jamal Lascelles, but it's an easy gather for Bernd Leno, who rolls it out to Granit Xhaka. Can Arsenal spring another counter-attack here? Can the Gunners add a second and put this game to bed? My prediction leading into the game and in the preview show was the famous old 1-0 to the Arsenal. Can we hold on? Can we see it out? And can, as I said at half-time, we pick up our 13th point from 15 available, which will be a very good return when you consider the dreadful, hopeless run that Arsenal were on prior to that. Here is Lascelles. She goes past Aubameyang and then gets caught by the Arsenal forward. He's won his team a free kick. It's always interesting to see, isn't it, how teams who come with a more defensive mindset then switch that mindset mid-game. And that's what Newcastle United have to do now. They have to switch that mindset. They have to find another way of playing. They have to switch, throw out everything else out the window, all the things they went through, all the plans. Because you could bet your bottom dollar under Steve Bruce, most of their plans would have been about the defensive element, the defensive side of the game. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. Newcastle have got a throw in. Saka can't believe it. He thinks it should have been an Arsenal throw. Do not fear, the sound is still here. As I said, we've got a little bit of an issue with one of the settings, but unfortunately, I couldn't get it done at halftime. I was trying, but here come Arsenal on the attack again. Smith Rowe. There we go, we're back. "55 minutes on the clock almost." Steve Stonewart says we need to take a good win into Southampton. Miss Melina says, do fire up the like button, chat room family. It's a Newcastle free kick, which Shelvey's going to take. Into Andy Carroll on the edge of Arsenal's penalty area. Gets it back from Wilson. Gets the shot away, Carroll. It's wide. And, Andy Carroll is not the player that Andy Carroll once was. It's just that. Because we've been burnt by him in the past. When I see him in and around the Arsenal penalty area, I just get nervous. Maybe I'm scarred from the Wenger days where we were kind of bullied by that type of player just way too often. Someone physical, powerful, strong. He just fits that profile of player that we just simply couldn't deal with for years and years and years under Arsene Wenger. We have toughened up a bit under Mikel Arteta in terms of not just the number of goals we can see, but in terms of our resilience as a team. I think we have improved in that sense. Nice from Partey to get away from Longstaff. Just lays it off to Saka, the pair forming a really good partnership this evening. As I said, I got really high hopes for that pairing going forward. Gooner says we need to push on for a second here and kill this game off. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And look, just to highlight my kind of fears of Andy Carroll, he's got 5 goals in 15 PL appearances against Arsenal. Most of the time he's been playing for the weaker side, hasn't he? Here's Lacazette underneath this. Goes down under the challenger Shelvey. Lacazette wants a free kick. He's not going to get one. Arsenal have won it back though. They're on the edge of Newcastle's box. Chipped into the box by Tierney. Will it fall for Emile Smith Rowe? It won't. Lacazette uses Cedric as a bit of a decoy there. Does well to hold off his man, and Partey manages to spray the ball back out right. Cedric puts it into the box, met by a Newcastle head though. Kieran Clark, and it's going to be a Arsenal throw-in on this right-hand side, the near side. Here's Saka inside the penalty area into Lacazette. Lovely layoff. Saka with a chance to get the shot away. Really good block there from the Newcastle man. Saka should have done better, but it was good defending in the end. Just that bit of hesitance from Bukayo Saka just closed out the space there was to get the shot away. Does well to hold off Jamal Lewis. Lovely link up with Lacazette again. I think it was Longstaff, or was it Kraft, that just got a foot in there that proved in the end to be vital. Really good block that. Mikel Arteta watching on, desperate for his side to get that second goal and put this game to bed. Partey hooks it up in the air. It's back with Rob Holding. Joe Linton does well to keep that in on the left-hand side and then wins a throw-in. Approaching the hour mark, Jamal Lewis will take this throw-in for Newcastle on their left-hand side. He's not got much in terms of movement going for him at the moment, Jamal Lewis. Throws it straight to Bukayo Saka. And between him and Cedric, they get it clear. Lacazette will chase this ball, but Lascelles will get there with plenty of time to spare. Big hello to Banos. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you for becoming a member as well. I gave you a shout out earlier on if you missed it. Thank you for signing up, man. Really appreciate it. Here is Almiron. Into Shelvey now. Plays a ball out to the right flank for Newcastle United. It's taken down by Emil Kraft. Puts a ball into the box and Bernd Leno has to catch it. A little bit too close to his goal line for my comfort, I've got to be honest. Here is Aubameyang. Finds Emil Smith-Rowe on the left, who was ahead of him. Emil Smith-Rowe steps inside his man, then goes on the outside, cuts it back to Bukayo Saka. It's a second for the Gunners. It's Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 0. Again, it's the young guns combining. Brilliant link-up play. Aubameyang involved once again. Emil Smith-Rowe, the real star. Wonderful skill. Sold Lascelles an absolute dummy there. Brilliant. Looked like he was going to cut infield, and then he went on the outside, cut it back brilliantly. And there was Bukayo Saka to add Arsenal's second and hopefully put enough distance between ourselves and Newcastle United. Aubameyang involved, helped it onto Emil Smith-Rowe, checked inside the man and then went on the outside. Lovely cutback to Bukayo Saka, who finished low expertly past Darlow. Wow. Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 0. Brilliant. Come on. Brilliant breakaway from really good football from Arsenal. That's what you want to see. That is what you want to see. Great finish from Saka. Really calm, composed finish. Is his fourth Premier League goal of the season. Graham Sutherland says, what a goal, Ozil, eat your heart out. T-Talk says, the Croydon De Bruyne. Chelevi says, superb. Aaron says, 6, Saka and Smith-Rowe again. Yes, Saka, let's go, says Bruno. Miss Molina says, Saka, come on. Fantastic. Kai Hin says, look at the way Laka walked away from the centre to give Saka the room. Emil Smith-Rowe is special. Jay Dubia says, Emil Smith-Rowe is so effing special. Him and Saka are definitely the future. Agreed. And they seem to have such a great understanding, don't they? Which is key as well. Here's Xhaka. Out to Kieran Tierney on the left. Here's David Luiz just inside Newcastle's half. Plays it short to Granit Xhaka. According to Xander, the Sky commentator said, Ozil who? Wow. Talk about a parting dig for Mesut Ozil. We're not going to get into that again. We've discussed it to death over the last couple of weeks. Xhaka with a shot from long distance, blocked by Lascelles, and then he helps it out left towards Aubameyang, but it didn't quite reach its intended destination. Banos says, imagine how much this team will improve with the youngsters we already have and new signings. Yeah, he's got to find that right balance, Mikel Arteta, doesn't he? Here's Callum Wilson inside Arsenal's penalty area, looks to get a shot away. Good defending from Rob Holding. Did well to keep up with Callum Wilson and then to stand his ground, not commit, and eventually block the shot. Gooner says, we're 7 points off Liverpool. Sergei says Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka will be world-class players if they continue to develop. Don't disagree with that. Partey plays it forward into Lacazette, turns, then finds Xhaka. He thinks about playing it to Aubameyang on the left, but just hesitated a little too long, and the space eventually closed itself out. But Arsenal can do that now. Arsenal can, I'm not going to say chill out. You know, you don't want Arsenal to chill out. We'd love Arsenal to go get a third goal. But Arsenal can be a little bit more careful now, can take a few more of those calculated risks rather than the ones that just feel completely necessary. Just to fill you guys in as well while Arsenal keep in possession here, we have got some brilliant guests coming your way on the Chronicles of a Gooner podcast this week. So stay tuned. I'll tell you who we've got tomorrow. We've got the athletic Art Deroche, who used to work for football.london as well. I'm sure plenty of you know him. I'm sure lots of you follow him. It's Art Deroche of the Athletic. He joins me tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. And then later on in the week, we've got a big name guest. Not that Art Deroche isn't. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a clue, but I'm not going to reveal anything further. But the man who'll be joining us later on in the week is probably the most in-the-know person when it comes to transfers in Europe. I would honestly say that. If that doesn't give it away, then I don't know what will. He's always in the know, and he likes to say, here we go. That's all I'm telling you. He will be joining us later on in the week. Here's Emile Smith-Rowe. Here's Cedric now. Looks to put a cross in from the right-hand side. Here's Thomas Partey. Xhaka plays it out left. Kieran Tierney will receive it. Cuts it infield to Aubameyang. He's inside the box. Aubameyang is back to Tierney on the left. Low delivery. Lacazette should have turned that in. He really should have turned it in. Really unlucky there. Lacazette on the stretch. Oh, lovely from Cedric through the legs of Jamal Lewis. Brilliant stuff. Saka stands it up towards the far post. There's Alexander Lacazette. Good save from Darlow in the end. Really good stop from the Newcastle goalkeeper. Brilliant from Cedric. Lovely backheel through the Newcastle defender's legs. Saka stood it up towards the far post. If Laka hadn't got there, Oba was queuing up behind him. You can't blame Laka for taking it on. Tried to sneak it in that near post. Carl Darlow was there to deny him. 66 minutes on the clock here. Arsenal going to make a change. Thomas Partey is going to be replaced by Mohamed El Neni. And you know what? Given that Thomas Partey's been out for the amount of time he has, and the game should I say, be won, I think that's the right call. Give him a little bit of a breather. Let's get him back fresh and ready. Let's protect our big asset, Thomas Partey. Emile Smith-Rowe puts the ball in the box towards David Luiz, but it was met by a Newcastle head in the end. Arsenal still have it. I think some of you have worked out who our guest is going to be. It's all been sorted today, but we'll have a specific time for you, hopefully tomorrow. Here is Rob Holding. And by the way, that is what the memberships were for. Things like that. To be able to get people like that and Art Deroche of The Athletic on this show. That's what the membership is for. So that we can continue to bring you the most content we can with top guests as Tierney shoots from long range. If you want to become a member of the Chronicles of a Gooner channel, it's so easy. All you need to do, click on the link in the description, check out the 3 different combinations that are available, select one, and join us. Become part of the family. Join the Discord server as well. I know that there are lots of you who are members that haven't joined the Discord server yet. I said I was going to go through it at half time. I probably should have. I apologize. If you don't know what it is, download Discord. It's an app. It's called Discord. It's got a little purple icon. Download it. And then go on our YouTube community tab, click the link to the Discord server, and it will automatically open and bring you into it. It's like a massive WhatsApp group chat for all of us to discuss Arsenal news, football in general, whatever you want. Mr. Tesh says, bring KC on. KC is due a return. Don't worry, we'll be getting him on very, very soon. Paul says, where do I get a membership, mate? You can either click the link in the description. There's a link there that says to become or for more info or to become a member of the channel. It's in the description. If you click on that, it will take you straight to the page. Alternatively, you can click the join button, which will be on your screen if you're watching. I don't know. Let me know in the chat, guys. Does it work from a mobile device? I don't even know. I don't even know. If not, you might have to log in on a laptop or a computer and do it from there. A PC, I should say. Here is Rob Holding. Plays it into Bukayo Saka, does well, turns away from his man. Plays opening up on the left-hand side. He finds Aubameyang in that inside left position again that he's so lethal from, or was so lethal from, and seems to have rediscovered that tonight. He puts a ball into the penalty area towards the middle of the penalty box, but it was caught by Cardalo. Yeah, apparently it does work from the phone. I didn't know that. Here come Newcastle, looking to find Callum Wilson, who'd made a run, but the game is so stretched. Arsenal coming forward again. Now down the left-hand side, into Lacazette, inside the penalty area. Lays it off to Saka on the edge of the box. It's high and it's wide. So according to T-Talks, it works for mobile and computer, but not for iPads. So it all works on a phone. There you go. If I've told you that you need to log on to a computer to do it, I apologize if I've said that in the past. I genuinely thought that was the case. Shows you how clued up I am. For the Discord link, if you go in the community tab, the Discord link is only available to members. So if you go on the YouTube channel at the top, click on the community tab, there's some members only posts there, and it's the last one. But it is only available to members. So if you're not a member, the link won't show when you go there. Lewis with a throw in the left back position for Newcastle United. As I said, guys, the Discord server link is only visible to members. That's why some of you are saying you can't see it. Here is Xhaka into Aubameyang. Lacazette will spray it out left. Put into the penalty area from Kieran Tierney. Just missed Alexander Lacazette. Saka will try and retrieve it, but Almiron's back doing his defensive duties, doing them really, really well. Wins his team a free kick as well. Big thank you to Miss Melina, who's just signed up. Thank you so much. And thank you for your help tonight. Thank you to Bruno as well. And to Xander for your moderating expertise. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you to Paul as well. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. The latest link shouldn't expire, but if it has, I'll do it for you as soon as the game ends. Here comes Emile Smith-Rowe down the right-hand side, puts a low ball into the box. Aubameyang was making moves. I'm pretty sure I sent the link not to expire, but I will have another look at it, guys, immediately after the game. So just bear with me. As soon as the full-time whistle goes, I'll have a look at that. Emile Smith-Rowe doing really well again. The delivery there just wasn't quite right. Didn't have the right weight on the pass. Maybe not even the right angle, to be honest, looking at it again. He is some player, this Emile Smith-Rowe. Some player. Selgear says non-goal related highlight is that Cedric's nutmeg that released. Non-goal related highlight is that Cedric nutmeg that released Saka. Yeah, that was excellent, wasn't it? Fantastic. Some of you waiting on Gabriel Martinelli, see if he's going to make an appearance. Look, if the game can be won without him, then I wouldn't bother. That's very much my attitude with Martinelli at the moment because I really like the player. But the issue is that, you know, he's had a very serious injury. He's still extremely young. And I just worry that as a football club, you know, our priority has to be to protect him because we know that he's got all the ability to go on and become a top player. We know all the attributes are there. But just protecting him after coming back from that long-term knee injury, having had to have surgery, I think has got to be the priority right now. Ease him back into things. Played way too much football when he first returned for my liking, but we were desperate. Just laughing at some of your comments in there. Graham Sutherland says, this is possibly another one of those moments. We are playing some great football. Someone says, smash that like button, people. You will not receive an invoice in the mailbox. I'm not going to take people having a go at people in the chat as well. The block button is there. And as we saw last week, we had our stream spoiled by idiots. So I won't hesitate to hit that block button. Not at all. Here's Emile Smith-Rowe for Arsenal. Back to Rob Holding. Arsenal have scored just one goal in the final 15 minutes this season. Only Burnley have scored less. So we don't score late goals. We don't score early goals. When do we bloody score our goals? Not often enough this season anyway. Here's Cedric. Oh, lovely ball for Saka. Just had the right spin on it. Unfortunately, just got away from him though. I've been really impressed with Cedric tonight. I really, really have, especially going forward. Here he goes. Cedric cuts it back. Aubameyang taps it in, and Arsenal have their third. There it is. Arsenal 3, Newcastle United 0. Brilliant stuff. Wonderful work once again from Cedric down the right-hand side. Did so well to link up there with his teammate. Come across the byline with the ball. Cuts it back to Aubameyang, who's got an easy tap in. And from struggling to score in the Premier League, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang all of a sudden has a brace on the night. Oh, has that gone out? It looks like he's slightly still in. Remember, the rule is the whole of the ball has to go out. I think that's in. I think that's in. I think that the edge of the ball is just about in. Surely, right? Newcastle were going to appeal for it. Absolutely. But I think that not all of the ball is over the line. Not all of the ball looked over the line for me. It was just a fraction of it that wasn't. Good link up with Cedric. The idea between him and Saka was right. And then they eventually combined here. Saka returning the favour for Cedric this time. Most of the ball was over the line. There's no debate in that. Most of it was over the line. But I think that goal should stand. Arsenal 3, Newcastle United 0. This feels nice, doesn't it? This feels nice to be 3-0 up in the game. Look, we're so comfortable that we can even bring Willian on. That's how comfortable we are. We're in cruise control. We're home and dry. And you know how you know that? Because Willian is being brought on and nobody's going to complain about it. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, scorer of a brace this evening, replaced by the former Chelsea man, Willian. Big hello to Andreas as well, who says, he said over 2.5 goals. You did? You did indeed. Welcome back, Aubameyang. Good shout on the score, Bruno, says Gooner SG. Lots of you commenting on the potential of Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka. Both have such potential. Xander says, on comes Willian, night ruined. Not even Willian can ruin this, surely, Xander. Not even Willian. Lester Paul says, good evening, Harry. I've actually muted Martin Tyler to listen to your comments. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Love having you, all you guys here. Lots of you watching, which is brilliant. Thank you. Welcome back, Oba. Graham's complaining about Willian coming on. I suppose he could have brought Nicolas Pepe on. Here's Joe Linton looking to release Callum Wilson, but Granit Xhaka back in the right place at the right time again. He's been excellent once more. Here's Tierney on the left-hand side, just added another dimension to us, hasn't he, by coming back. The thing is, on the other side, you know, Cedric's come in. He's done probably a better job going forward than Hector Bellerin would. And to be fair to Mikel Arteta, when he first brought Cedric into the club, that's what he said about him. He said that in the final third, he can give us more than our current options. You know, so he clearly values Cedric as an attacking force down that right-hand side. The problem is now at left-back, we don't have that alternative. Therefore, when Tierney's not available, it's a big, big problem. You know, you could argue that Sead Kolasinac was a decent option. I thought he was a decent option as a left-back, especially when he was asked to get forward. But, you know, now we don't really have that. And we tried Ainsley Maitland-Niles in the last game. It just didn't work. Steven Zenner says 9 more likes to get the thing to 100. Come on. If you haven't hit the like button already, what are you waiting for? Some of you are going to get your wish now because Gabriel Martinelli is stripped and ready. On he comes to replace Emile Smith-Rowe, who has been brilliant again. Absolutely brilliant. Here's David Luiz. Back to Bernd Leno in the Arsenal goal. It's with Mohamed El Neni now. Just having a look at some of you in the Discord. You know what? Let me do the Discord server link now. I can't talk about it, can I? I can't talk about comments that are in there and then have members not able to get into it. It's not fair. Let me sort that out for you right away. Kieran Tierney does really well to save the corner there and finds David Luiz to his left. He plays it forward. Going to go out for a throw-in on the far side. Here we go. Hold on. Make sure that set this link to never expire. There you go. Your link will never expire. So I don't know why the last one did. Just sorting that out for you guys now. There you go. Hit the community tab at the top of the channel and the Discord server link is there. If you're a member, come and join us. We're over the 100 likes mark. Thank you all so much for your support. Really, really appreciate that. Martinelli thought he'd nicked the ball back for Arsenal there. Here's Kraft at right back. Hendrick just chasing that, but El Neni shepherds it out of play. Nice to see some of you guys finally joining the Discord server. Welcome. There's plenty of Arsenal chat in there over the next few days. Don't forget, if you want to become a member of the channel, it's very easy. Click the link in the description. And from there, you can have a look at the 3 tiers of a membership that are available to you and decide which, if any of those, I should say, suits you best. Here's Cedric. Had a storming game tonight, Cedric. Been brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Big thank you to Xander. Ashton WB7 says, who do you think deserves the number 10? I wrote a piece for 90 Min earlier on. I shared it on my Twitter feed if you follow me on Twitter. Lacazette's gone down. He's going to win Arsenal a free kick on the edge of the D. To answer your question, I only came up with 2 candidates. And I sat there with the intention of coming up with like 3 or 4. And then I just looked at like Willian and, Pepe and Willock and Nelson. I was like, none of these guys can wear the number 10 for Arsenal. It would be a betrayal of that great shirt to give it to one of those. So I ended up just narrowing it down to Emile Smith-Rowe, who obviously the position, fits perfectly for him to wear the number 10 shirt. It just suits him down to a T. And I also put Gabriel Martinelli in the mix as well. He's a forward player. Number 10, as a forward, you can wear that. And of course, he's wearing the number 35 at the moment, which isn't ideal. But yeah, as I said, I just narrowed it down to Emile Smith-Rowe, who was my number 1. And then Gabriel Martinelli, number 2 for that number 10 shirt. Willian with a free kick on the edge of the box. Can Willian deliver something that's going to buy him a bit of goodwill with the Arsenal faithful? It's been a shit start to his Arsenal career, but Willian strikes one. Nope, it's into the wall. He's going to go out for an Arsenal throw-in on the left-hand side, which Kieran Tierney will take. Here's David Luiz to Cedric. Ella says, even if you gave Willian 100 games, he wouldn't do what Emile Smith-Rowe did for the second goal. Aubameyang taking his place in the stands with a big smile on his face. And that's nice to see, isn't it? He's spoken quite openly, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, about his struggles of late, about how it's been difficult to try and lead and inspire a team when he himself knew he wasn't at peak form and things weren't quite right. Martinelli initially looked as though he kept that on. He tried to knock it through the legs of Lascelles. Just a little bit too strong for him, the Newcastle centre-half. He is an absolute unit, Jamal Lascelles. Graham Sutherland says, I had no idea Cedric could play that like this. He's had a really, really good game. We'll come on to talk about him in the review show a little bit later on. If you're not sick of me already, come join me for that. Just after 10 p.m. But if you don't fancy watching it tonight, no worries at all. You can catch up with it tomorrow. Or you can listen to it tomorrow if you prefer to take our podcasts in via the audio platforms. Arsenal dispossessing Newcastle midway inside their own half. Here's Granit Xhaka into Willian. Lovely ball down that left channel again for Kieran Tierney, who had come forward. It was Kraft who come across. He's conceded a corner. T-Talk says Brucey getting sacked. I wonder where this is going to leave Steve Bruce, because he's been under a lot of pressure lately. Not necessarily from the club, though. From the fans. There was a letter, I think, from the Newcastle United Supporters Trust that was sent to the club saying that, we don't want to sleepwalk into relegation like we did last time. So there is concerns from the Newcastle fan base, and they're going down the proper channels to make it clear. That's the difference, isn't it? I mean, if you think back to when we wanted changes to be made at our football club, we didn't write letters to the football club. We didn't do things properly. We didn't give things to the newspapers. We just turned up at the stadium with banners you could hardly read. Nadine Pierre says, great commentary, Harry. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Steve Stone says, thank you tonight, Arsenal. Thank you, Harry. But biggest thank you goes to the friendliest chat on YouTube. Echo that. This channel's nothing without the people watching it. Here is Gabriel Martinelli on the left. Plays it back to Kieran Tierney. Takes a touch. Back to Martinelli. Into Willian. In that inside left position. Looks to, or thinks about going past John Joe Shelby and then turns back. Here is Mohamed El Neni. Tierney plays it out left to Willian. Goes down like a sack of spuds there, Willian, from the challenge from Murphy. Arsenal have had 19 attempts in comparison to Newcastle United's 4 this evening. We've taken our chances when they've come along, for the most part. You know, you think back, Lacazette forced a really good save out of Darlow at the start of the second half. Aubameyang hit the post at 0-0, so it could have been more. Nobody can bemoan a lack of creativity this evening anyway. Mr. Tesh says, thanks Harry, Melina and the mods for a great evening. Thank you. Gooner says, quality channel, Harry. 100% best watch-alongs. Thank you. How have you guys liked the crowd effects? I know, look, there's no real crowd in the stadium. I know we can't get it perfect. And I know it's dropped off a couple of times. Which I know what the issue is, so I will get that resolved. But yeah, let me know your feedback. You know, I want to make the watch along as enjoyable and as sort of professional and as good as it can be for you guys. So any feedback, be sure to let me know. Here, Newcastle United inside Arsenal's penalty area. They go to the right where Kraft thinks to put it into the penalty area. His attempted cross is blocked. There are 3 minutes added time at the Emirates Stadium. We've already had one of those pretty much. Going to launch this throw into the penalty area. Met by the head of Tierney though. And then Martinelli looks to volley it away. Instead, he's volleyed it out for a what he thought was going to be a Newcastle corner. But the ball just took a knock off the Newcastle United man as it came down out of the air. Martinelli with a little grin on his face because he knows he's got away with that. Thank you guys for your kind words in the chat. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been named by Sky as the man of the match. I think that's fair when you consider he scored 2 goals. He's got a smile back on his face, and that means so much. That's what is so important. Kevin John says, Harry, does the crowd noise have the chant of sacked in the morning for Brucey? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But I can maybe sort one of those out for next time. Who knows? Look, loving all the positivity, says Matt G. Yeah, you and me both, mate. Graham says, man of the match got to be Emile Smith Rowe, with Cedric a close second. Only Lacazette a bit disappointed for me. It wasn't Lacazette's greatest game, but I think he's played his part, if nothing else, just by taking people away, creating spaces. Here's Bukayo Saka. Saka plays it out left to Kieran Tierney, just crosses the halfway line. The Scot still going with 92.5 minutes on the clock. Thomas says, I guess the result enhances the effect. Yeah, it certainly does, doesn't it? It's the main thing. In goes the ball towards the 6-yard box where Gabriel Martinelli attempted to make a header towards goal, but unfortunately it's gone out. Graham says, I think the rumble in the background is good. Yeah, just breaks it up, doesn't it? Just makes it sound not too flat. It can get a little bit flat without it. The full-time whistle has gone at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 3, Newcastle United 0. Mikel Arteta was in a position of pressure just a few weeks ago, but he's very much turned up the heat on Steve Bruce this time around. How football changes so quickly. Arsenal have taken 13 points out of a possible 15. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is all smiles, and there's plenty to be happy about as an Arsenal fan this evening. I want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who joined us at any point, whether it was for the whole game or a couple of minutes. Thank you to every single one of you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And we're going to be back with more watch-alongs, more podcasts. As I said, come join me tomorrow, 12:30 midday. I'll be joined by Art Deroche of The Athletic. He'll be talking to me about all things Arsenal. We'll be touching on this game a little bit as well. I'll be bringing you some match reaction a little bit later on, around about 10:15. So stay tuned for that if you fancy it. But if you're sick of me for one night, I understand as well. Thank you all so much. We'll be back very soon with more. Until then, take care of yourselves. Up the Arsenal.
You're listening to the Chronicles of a Gooner, the Arsenal podcast.
I'm Martin Tyler, and you're listening to Harry Symeou.